Phil, once we crest this climb, we've still got another climb to go.
We have indeed, but this is the highest point of this year's Tour de France, and because of it, this man here could be in for the richest payday of his life, because there is a 5,000 euros additional prize, the souvenir Henri de Grange, the man who founded the Tour de France. And it looks to me as though Quintana is not going to be caught before the top of this climb. There's the snow surviving on the north face. Kennog still setting the pace here. Richie Porte right behind him. Froome curled up all over his bike there with two teammates trying to keep him in touch. Alberto Contador not much further down the line, but take a look at the size of that peloton now. Not very big, is it?
No, in third position there, the gangly figure with the white sunglasses in third place is Chris Froome, the man who many people dub as the favourite for today. Locked onto his wheel is Alejandro Valverde, very happy with the fact that he's got his teammate Nairo Quintana up front, putting pressure on Team Sky. The next line of riders in the blue and yellow will contain Alberto Contador, the winner of the Tour de France on 2 occasions. I can see a red and black jersey there of BMC Racing. It looked to me like the Longeline figure of the American TJ Van Garderen.
Interesting this, but the increased tempo by the peloton catching up with Igor Anton again. Well, as we look here at the leader going up to the cheers of the crowd, this is to the rear of the race here. That's Andreas Kleuden in trouble, and it looks to me as though we have another problem here, because that is TJ Van Garderen, number 39. This is moments ago, has been dropped by that peloton on the climb. So only Cadel Evans, I think, is left there now for Team BMC. Look at the crowd on the Tour de France today. This is the first big mountain, the biggest of them all, and they've come here to witness a new find in cycling in Nairo Quintana. Let's go inside the race with Steve.
We are just approaching TJ Van Garderen. I can tell you about one switchback below is the yellow jersey, which is about 2 switchbacks below Sky, and they're literally right over my head. It is so steep here.
Well, the pacemaking is absolutely sensational by this youngster, Peter Kennog, in his first Tour de France, as he drags up the favourite, Chris Froome, towards the summit here. Well, Van Garderen has gone, Paul. He's unhitched on this climb too, so it looks as though Team BMC and now must rely heavily on Cadel Evans. But did you notice, still in that group is Andy Schleck.
Andy Schleck, yes, number 41, is halfway down the group. He's looking very comfortable. You just see the 41 there in the middle, the red, white and light blue stripe across. Andrew Talansky is also in this group, the young American rider wearing number 178. He's sitting on the back. But the man who is lighting up the roads of the Tour de France today, 23 years of age, from Boyacá in Colombia, is looking at 1 kilometre to go to the summit. 5,000 euros the prize over the top. That's about $7,500.
As he makes his way up here, the campers have been here for a few days to get these prime spots on the Col de Pailheres. He's made this climb look almost flat the way he's flown up it. He's written off every rider he's passed, and they've gone struggling behind the chase groups. And look at the wind that's ripping through the Norwegian flag ahead of him there. He'll pick up his tailwind now and watch him accelerate as he picks up that tailwind. You can almost feel it from your living room seats. Still Peter Kennog, Richie Porte, then Chris Froome. Nothing, Contador's the rider dancing on those pedals in the blue and yellow, but he's not helping with the chase at all.
Now, they're all leaving it up to Team Sky currently. Jaimar Zubeldia is the rider just hanging on to the back, but there are not many riders left in this group now, but a lot of the teams of the overall contenders for the Tour de France have multiple teammates up alongside them.
Just 30 riders in that group left as they come up towards the top of this climb. Then there'll be some fast descending, and then they'll be heading up the final climb of the day. As he heads up through this corridor of noise, we are witnessing a new climbing sensation in the Tour de France. First time he's ever been here. And straight ahead on the next little rise amongst the snow there is the summit of the high spot of the Tour, the Col de Pailheres. And isn't it fitting that the newcomer, the best climber we've seen in years developing, is going to win?
Well, it casts my mind back, Phil, to the 1980s, and you think about the climbers like Lucho Herrera and Fabio Parra. That was when Colombia dominated these Grand Tours, especially in the big climbs. Whether it was the Tour de France or the Vuelta a España, they produced some magnificent climbers. This is part of a new breed, and I would say over the last couple of seasons, we have really seen the renaissance of Colombian cycling on the international circuit.
And with this victory alone on the top of this first climb, the 25 points will give him the lead in the King of the Mountains. And who would dispute that today? Under the banner that says Col de Pailheres, the high spot of the Tour, he's gone over the top. His face telling us he's hardly out of breath. This is Pierre Rolland, who's still staying clear of the peloton. That's a good second place. And in fact, having just awarded the King of the Mountains lead, with Rolland taking 20 points for second, he will hold on to the lead briefly. What will happen on the next climb, though?
Well, it'll all go down to the final climb, and the final climb as a first category climb will have its points double. Those 20 points for the final climb of the day, which is a first category climb. But this man has just gone over the summit, 30 seconds adrift. Now look down into the valley before. That is below. That is where we have to dive down to right now before starting the final climb of the day.
Igor Anton, is he going to hold them off just to get third place? I think he will. And then Peter Kennard, who's done an absolutely sensational round of pacemaking before Team Sky comes up to the summit as well.
So third place there for Igor Anton. Still no serious response there for the Team Sky riders. I would make that 1 minute and 3 seconds over the summit.
So the peloton, some 30 riders strong, will now zip up those racing jerseys, keep the chill air out and descend to the valley below.